Today, I want to talk about something that causes a lot of confusion in family estrangement. A parent may believe the relationship was fine. The adult child may remember that same relationship as lonely, distant, or emotionally empty. And from the outside, people may not understand how two people from the same family can describe the relationship so differently. But that difference is often the heart of the problem, because when people hear the word estrangement, they usually expect a clear reason. They expect abuse, they expect violence, they expect screaming, cruelty, chaos, or one major event that explains why an adult child stops speaking to a parent. They want the thing, the moment, the story that makes the distance make sense. But estrangement doesn't always come from the loudest kind of harm. Sometimes it comes from neglect, and neglect is harder to explain because it's not always about what happened, it's about what never happened. It's the comfort that never came, the emotional safety that never developed, the sadness no one noticed, the parent who was physically present but emotionally unavailable, the child who learned not to bring their feelings forward because nothing useful happened when they did. Then that child becomes an adult. Now the parent wants closeness. Now the parent wants phone calls. Now the parent wants holidays. Now the parent wants access. But the adult child may be sitting there with a completely different memory of the relationship. A 2021 study looked at neglect, abuse, and the relationship between parents and their adult children. And the part that stood out to me was this: neglect seemed to create a deeper break in the relationship than abuse. That sounds strange at first because most people assume estrangement would be more connected to obvious abuse. But when you sit with it, it makes sense. Abuse can be easier to point to, even when people deny it. There may be a specific incident, a pattern of cruelty, a memory that gives the adult child language for what happened. Neglect works differently. Neglect is slippery because the injury is built around what was missing. The parent may say, "I didn't do anything to you," and the adult child may be thinking, "That's exactly the point. You didn't comfort me. You didn't notice me. You didn't know me. You didn't ask the right questions. You didn't make the relationship feel emotionally safe." And that's where parents and adult children can get stuck. The parent is defending against abuse. The adult child is trying to describe neglect. Those are not the same conversation. The parent says, "I never hit you." The adult child is saying, "I didn't feel safe with you." The parent says, "You had food, clothes, and a roof over your head." The adult child is saying, "I didn't feel known by you." The parent says, "I was there." The adult child is saying, "You were in the house." That's not the same thing. That's the gap. The parent may judge the relationship by what they provided. The adult child may judge the relationship by what they had to survive without. And when those two versions of the relationship never meet, estrangement starts to make a lot more sense, because the parent may genuinely believe they had a good relationship with their child. They may remember working hard. They may remember paying bills. They may remember showing up to school events. They may remember taking care of the practical things. And those things matter, but they're not the whole relationship. A child can be fed and still feel emotionally alone. A child can have a bedroom and still feel like there's no safe place to land. A child can have a parent in the house and still feel like no one is really with them. That's what emotional neglect does. It creates a relationship where the structure may be there, but the connection is missing. And years later, when the adult child pulls away, the parent may feel blindsided. They may say, "This came out of nowhere." But for the adult child, it may not feel sudden at all. The estrangement may only be the visible version of a distance that has existed for years. That's the part people miss. Estrangement is not always the first sign that something went wrong. Sometimes it's the first sign other people can see. The adult child may have already stopped expecting comfort. They may have already stopped sharing details. They may have already stopped asking for help. They may have already learned to handle everything alone. By the time the silence becomes obvious, the emotional distance may have been there for a long time. This is why neglect can be so damaging to the parent-adult-child bond. It doesn't just hurt the child. It leaves both people confused about the quality of the relationship. One person remembers a good enough parent, and the other remembers emotional loneliness. One person remembers provision, the other remembers absence. One person remembers being there, the other remembers being alone. And when they try to talk about it, the conversation can fall apart quickly. The adult child may say, "You were never there for me emotionally." The parent may respond, "That's not true. I did everything for you." And now they're arguing about two different things. The parent is talking about labor. The adult child is talking about emotional presence. The parent is talking about effort. The adult child is talking about impact. The parent is talking about intention. The adult child is talking about what it felt like to grow up in that relationship. And if the parent can't make room for that difference, the adult child may feel unseen all over again. That's how estrangement deepens. The adult child tries to explain the wound. The parent hears an accusation. The parent defends. The adult child feels dismissed. And then the parent says, "See, they won't talk to me." But sometimes the adult child did try to talk. They just stopped when they realized every explanation turned into a debate. And that's why neglect can lead to such a different kind of estrangement. With abuse, people may argue about whether it happened, how serious it was, or whether the adult child should forgive. But with neglect, the family may argue over whether there was ever a wound at all. That's a severe difference, because if someone denies your pain, that's hard enough. But if someone denies the entire emotional reality of the relationship, there may be nothing left to work with. This is especially complicated between mothers and adult daughters. Daughters are often expected to carry the emotional relationship. They're expected to call. They're expected to explain. They're expected to forgive. They're expected to soften. They're expected to keep the family story looking better than it feels. So when a daughter steps away from her mother, people may treat the distance as the problem, but sometimes the distance is revealing the problem. Sometimes the estrangement is not the daughter destroying a close relationship. Sometimes it's the daughter refusing to keep performing closeness in a relationship that never felt emotionally close to her. And that matters, because if the relationship was already emotionally empty, the adult child may not experience estrangement as the destruction of a bond. They may experience it as the first honest thing they've done. That doesn't mean estrangement is easy. It doesn't mean it's casual. It doesn't mean the adult child doesn't grieve. But it does mean the outside story may be wrong. From the outside, people may see a parent who is confused and hurt. They may see an adult child who is distant and cold, and they may assume the adult child is the one breaking the family. But the adult child may be responding to a relationship that was already broken in quieter ways. The parent may say, "I thought we were close," and the adult child may think, "You thought that because I kept showing up. I called, I visited, I answered, I smiled, I made the holidays easier, I played my part." But closeness is not the same as contact, and contact is not the same as emotional safety. That's where so many families get confused. They mistake access for intimacy. They mistake politeness for closeness. They mistake the adult child's participation for proof that the relationship was healthy. But sometimes the adult child was participating because that's what they were trained to do. Keep the peace. Don't make it awkward. Don't embarrass the family. Don't make your mother feel bad. Don't bring up the past. Don't be difficult. Then one day they stop. And now everyone wants to know what happened. But what happened may be that they ran out of energy to keep pretending. Neglect can create that kind of ending. Not always with a dramatic fight, and not always with one final betrayal. Sometimes with a slow realization that the relationship has never been as close as the parent believed it was. So if a parent wants to understand estrangement after neglect, the question can't just be, "What did I do that was so bad?" That question already misses the point. A better question is, "What did you need from me that you didn't get?" That question opens a different door. It gives the adult child room to talk about absence. It gives them room to say, "I needed comfort. I needed interest. I needed emotional protection. I needed you to know me. I needed you to care about more than whether I was fed, clothed, and quiet." And no, that conversation won't be easy. It may bring up guilt, it may bring up shame, it may bring up defensiveness, but if the parent rushes into self-defense, the adult child learns again that their emotional reality still has nowhere to go. And that may confirm the estrangement, because the wound is not only what was missing back then, it's what still gets missed now. So when a parent says, "I thought we had a good relationship," the adult child may not be trying to rewrite history. They may be describing the part of the relationship the parent never had to feel. the loneliness, the emotional invisibility, the ache of needing a parent who was technically there but not emotionally available. And by the time estrangement happens, the parent may be confused because they're looking at what they did provide, but the adult child is looking at what they had to survive without. That's why neglect can place the relationship at such serious risk. It's harder to identify, harder to prove, harder to repair, and it can leave both people arguing over whether the relationship was ever damaged in the first place. So I want to ask you this. Have you seen this kind of mismatch in your own family? One person remembers the relationship as close or normal, while the other remembers it as lonely, distant, or emotionally unsafe. Let me know in the comments, because I think this is one of the most misunderstood parts of estrangement. And for more writing on mother-daughter estrangement, emotional neglect, and family relationships, please visit the estrangementproject.com, a space where we go in depth on different aspects of estrangement and relationships.